Rudi Weber is over here. He's off camera, but you'll see him in a little while. Rudi and his wife own Lynns Ice Cream up in Lecanto, Florida, which is a beautiful little town in Florida here. And they have a fabulous ice cream parlor. And if you're ever in the area, we'll get you the directions, and you gotta go see that place. And he's going to be making his signature ice cream today, which is a Rum Raisin.
Yeah,
we're more than halfway.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. While I clean this out for Rudi, who's going to make his famous Rum Raisin ice cream, I'll just touch on a couple of points. One is about filtering the water for Italian ice. It's a great question. Do you have to filter the water? Here in Brooksville, Florida, we're famous for wild pigs and cattle and chickens and turkeys, and that's it. We have no tourists. No tourist ever comes through here. And so everybody who's here, except for Paula and me, grew up here. They've lived here all their lives. So if I make Italian ices here in Brooksville, Florida, Central West Florida, and I sell it locally out on, from a store, I don't have to filter the water because everybody in town has been drinking this water all their lives. They're used to it. Rudi, what speed do you run on?
High speed.
High speed, okay.
Yeah, homemade ice cream, yeah.
Now you started with this machine, right?
I started with this machine 2 years ago.
And just bought a new one.
I just bought a 24 quart now. So it's a little bit less time consuming than the CB350.
Well, you're making twice as much product in the same amount of time.
Yeah, yeah.
So Rudi's success story is very much the same as many others. I'll put it down here. They started with a CB350, and then they grew the business and then moved up to a bigger machine.
Yeah, I started about 2 years ago in Inverness. It's a little bit up north, 30 minutes from here. And I started 2 years ago. I came over from Belgium 3 years ago. It took me 8 months to get my visa done. But, you just cannot come to the United States and do nothing in my case because I come legally over here. So I have to start up a business. I was always in the restaurant business. With the restaurant, it's a lot of work, a lot of time consuming. So that's why I decided to do an ice cream store. And it's related to food and stuff. So it's really fun. I started it up 2 years ago. And we're going in the right direction. Last year we grew about 34% in the business.
Wow.
And so we continuous growing and develop new things. I try to do it maybe different than the other ice cream stores in the United States. I try to do it, I develop my own flavors. I use some origin products also and iRice products. Most of the time, stuff out of the supermarket actually. And I experiment a lot. Not everything is working from the first time. Sometimes you have to, do it 5 to 10 times over before you have the flavor right. But it's fun to do. And it's also, the customers like it. They always come in and say, you have a new flavor, they try it out. If I make a new flavor, I always let the customers try it. And if the customers like it, I keep making it all the time. So that's what I do. And one of my big successes in the store is the Rum Raisin. It's really simple actually. I use no flavoring, I use real rum. The rum that I use is the Myers rum. You can take every rum you want. If you like something else, you make it with that, You can choose whatever you want, whatever you like. What I do, I take a package of raisins and just pour rum over it. But I let it sit almost a month before I use them. Actually, they're not raisins anymore, they're grapes again. You see, they're full of rum. And that's what the people like. So, and it's a big difference if you use a flavoring of rum or if you use a real rum. And also to blend the flavor into the ice cream, I take about 1/3 of the raisins I'm going to use in the batch. I put them in a food processor and I put the ice cream mix already in it and I blend it together. So the flavor is really blended into the ice cream. So I need about 3.5 quarts. You have 3.5 quarts I need about.
All right, let me find a quart measure. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
You right with you?
Yep. Yep.
There's 2 and there's 4.
Yeah. 3.5. Let's get it just in the middle. Around 3.5. Put it in here?
I'll take it.
Okay. So for the CB350, it's a 6-quart machine. I take about 3.5 quarts of ice cream mix. I put a little bit of the mix in the blender. Oh, maybe I use the one on the bottom over here. So when I blend the whole thing together, I do it really fine. So because this mix is gonna depend the flavor in the ice cream. So and it's also the color, you know, it's not white anymore, it's a little bit tan, and this gives also the right color to your ice cream. Is the machine ready still?
Ready to go.
Yeah.
All yours.
It's closed, yeah.
See, nobody trusts me. Rudi checked it first.
Yeah, it happened to me also a lot of times, you know, that the valve is open, so...
Yeah.
Butterfat or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know, this is the 10?
10% butterfat mix.
Yeah. In the store I use always 14%. So it's depends what you want to use. So you pour the mix in, you pour this also in. I wait with the whole raisins. I put them actually almost in on the end of the batch because first I let, because of the alcohol. If you pour it right away, those juice actually it's alcohol. Then the ice cream doesn't freeze so well anymore. So, and we put also a little bit of vanilla into it. I use always vanilla in whatever ice cream I make. I use always a nice vanilla extract to do it. So, and I run it on the high speed, the homemade ice cream. And I run it about 10 minutes, depending, you know, how much alcohol you put in. Because with the alcohol, it's going to take a little bit longer. I think before the batch is going to be ready, it's going to be maybe 13, 14 minutes to wait. So, no, it's just ice cream mix. I hate sugar. My ice cream is not sweet. So I try to use as less as possible sugar. I don't put sugar in it. I try to go really to the real original flavor. I know I'm from Europe, you know, in Europe we don't use a lot of sugar. Over here, like even the mango sorbet with the stabilizer that you use, it's really, for me, it's too sweet. I don't like too much sugar. Actually, sugar is not good for your health, so I try to use as less sugar as possible over here. So, of course, now we have to wait until the batch is ready. you can see if you open the valve on the top, you know, how it's gonna run, and the consistency is gonna be right, yes or no. So, but it takes about, 12 to 13 minutes with the alcohol in it, because it doesn't freeze so fast, actually. So,
Rudi, tell us about your business. What are your most popular flavors?
my most popular flavors, I make, my popular flavor, it's chocolate ice cream. It's a dark chocolate, and I use a Belgian chocolate for it. So I prepare my own mixes. I let it stay overnight, and then the next day I make ice cream out of it. And it's also not sweet, it's really dark. It has the real flavor of, the dark chocolate. And in the beginning I was using American chocolate, but for me, American chocolate, if you buy something in Walmart, I tried all different kinds of chocolate. It's more like wax. You can chew on it, it doesn't melt in your mouth. And that reflects, if you make ice cream out of it, it's really something really special, I think, and I don't like it very much. I try to use, in my store, I go for quality. I don't want to be the millionth and one ice cream store in a dozen. I want to be the only ice cream store in a dozen. So even if you come to my store and you eat ice cream inside of the store, I don't use plastic cups. You get a real stone plate and a real metal spoon to eat it.
Wow.
So, and that's what people like. Of course, if you want to have it to go, I serve it in a cup, of course. But inside my store, I do everything in fancy stove, glass bowls, plates. I do my own cookies, my own cones I make. And one of the big successes is also, I'm from Belgium, and I make Belgian waffles, not the American Belgian waffles. So, and it's a big difference. And the American Belgian waffles, you eat it as a breakfast. A Belgian waffle, you eat it as a dessert. So that's the difference. And it took a while before my customers were knowing what I was doing, because waffles, you eat it. You're not open in the morning? No, I'm not. I open at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but stay open until 10 o'clock. And now my customers, because I have a local store, now they know what I'm doing and they appreciate it now. So I try to do a whole different kind of things than normally actually over here.
Do you have a lot of employees to be able to do all that with the stoneware?
I do it together with my wife, and in the evening we have a couple of students who help us out, because in the evening it's getting pretty busy actually. Yeah. In the evening we work with 4 people. So I open at 3, and we do most of our business we do between 6 and 10 o'clock. Until 10 o'clock people coming in to eat ice cream, and it's a nice combination with the waffles and the ice cream. This waffle in particular, because we have 2 types of waffles. We have a Brussels waffle. It's from the capital of Belgium, and it's crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. And we have another waffle that comes from Liège. It's a French town in Belgium, and it's a waffle made out of a dough with pearl sugar inside. And we imported also the pearl sugar into the United States, because the pearl sugar has to melt and caramelize over the waffle. You can find pearl sugar also in the United States, but it's a different consistency and it doesn't work really well. We also use the original waffle irons from Belgium that you call the grid, with so many squares, because it also determines if you make your Liège waffle, if your grid is too big or too small, your sugar doesn't caramelize over the waffle and you get a complete different type of waffle. So, and that's why we make our combination with ice cream and also with the waffles, and we make a combo ice cream, whipped cream, and it's a different concept that we do actually, and it's working, so that's a good thing for the moment. Oh, sorry. No, I don't think so. I had the same question when I started with alcohol flavor, because this is not the only alcohol flavor that I use. I called to the department of licensing for alcohol, and I asked him the question, can I use alcohol in my ice cream? They couldn't answer me. So I said, but I need an answer, but I'm going to do it. So they say, we have to do some research, and see what you can do and not can do. So, but I told him in advance, say, okay, if I cannot use alcohol in my ice cream, so you have to changed the whole law about ice cream because I'm going to use also a vanilla extract, and the vanilla extract is also alcohol. They didn't know it. So they called me back after 3 days. They say, yeah, you can do it as long that you process it in food and you eat it, it's okay. But actually, yeah, making a milkshake with rum raisin that is drinking, I don't think it's allowed.
Wow.
But I don't care. I do it anyway. Because I specialize actually in a lot of alcohol flavors. I make my own limoncello, and I put limoncello in the ice cream also. So, and I make a lot of ice cream with wine and chocolate and everything. So it's really a different type of business.
So do you consider yourself an alcoholic?
Yeah. Yeah, I need my alcohol every day.
On a serious note, if you put some rum into the raisins before you blend it,
Yeah, I marinate the raisins. I have a big jar at home.
but in the puree that you used on the ginger, you put that into
Yeah,
you
directly.
add some rum to that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that affects the freezing time? of the ice cream?
Yeah. Takes a little bit longer.
How long are you freezing that?
I think about 12, 13 minutes, I think. I have to freeze it.
I think it's a lot shorter. I think you're ready.
No, then I have to add first. Now it's gonna be. Now I have to put some 4 ounces of alcohol in it, and the rest of the raisins. So now it's gonna melt again.
No, it freezes. It's all compressor size. It freezes at the same time as that. But these are the only machines you can put alcohol in, and it'll make ice cream. The others, you have to add everything as it comes out because they don't have enough freezing power. The alcohol never freezes. It stays in suspension, but you're able to freeze all the other products. Looks nice.
But this is actually the proof that you cannot talk and make ice cream.
That's true.
Because I waited a little bit too long to add the raisins in, but it's not a problem. We can always take some out.
But Rudi knows the trick. If you wait too long, you can always take a little bit out, and it'll make a momentary hole in the where the ice cream is up top there, and it'll suck everything right back in. The real answer is pay attention to what you're doing.
Pay attention to what you're doing.
This
yeah.
is why we do not automate the machines.
Oh, yeah.
Ice cream making is no more automated than baking. When I watch Paula bake a cake, she sets the timer for 23 minutes, and then she doesn't take it out at 23 minutes. She comes over with a fork and sticks it in to see if it's ready. The fork is a guide. The timer is only to give you an approximation that I haven't been, 4 minutes or 40 minutes. Same thing with ice cream making. When people tell you, oh, it's all automated, they don't know anything about making ice cream.
The worst thing can happen if you're making ice cream, you take a phone call, then your ice cream, it's
Ruined.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we can.
And it's usually Steve Thompson going, Rudi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Paul, is she asleep? Okay, because I want to bring her in a little bit. Are you going to get the lunch? Huh? Oh, I would absolutely. It's not the age as is perception. Mothers don't like the idea that their 16-year-old can come into your store and buy alcohol ice cream. So you put, and the other problem you have is it costs more. So if you're going to do alcohol ice creams, put up a nice little sign that says, you must be 21 years of age or older.
Yeah, I don't sell it underage.
I'll tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah,
Let's let Rudi finish with what he's doing.
Yeah, perhaps because it's
and if you
full
buy,
rate.
if you go to a bakery and buy a Baba rum, that's loaded with alcohol, and they've allowed those for years. A product called a Baba rum, that's a pastry, and it's just loaded with rum. Yeah. No, but you try my Grand Marnier and you eat a pint of that. Yeah. How is it, Rod? So, Rudi, should we have everyone come up and
So
try
now
it?
everybody has to try it, of course. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. Thank you. This is from Barbados. Yeah,
It's
Myers.
the Myers rum. Yeah.
that's the best
And you
rum
should
on
see
earth.
also the ice cream. Normally I put it in a blast freezer for at least a night. Now it's a little bit soft.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit soft because it's coming right out of the machine, and because of the alcohol in the ice cream, it's always a little bit soft and looks more like a sherbet actually. Yeah.
I guess I won't give you all too much because I don't
If
want
you
you to fall
blast
asleep.
freeze it, then it becomes, of course, more harder. But the thing what I do also, I don't use dipping cabinets in my store. I have a kitchen with the waffles, so I keep this in a normal chest freezer. And because I make my own ice cream flavors, each flavor have a different consistency, and that's why I use the rum raisin is going to be on the bottom of the freezer, and my chocolate is going to be on top of the freezer because there's a big temperature difference in the bottom of the top of the freezer. So that's why I don't use a dipping cabinet. But if I use a dipping cabinet, then I have to put it really hard for the temperature for the rum, but then I cannot scoop my chocolate anymore. So I do it a little bit different. Yeah.
Now, on that signage about you must be 21 years of age, it not only does it make mothers happy that their kids aren't going to come in, you can list your ice cream flavors that have alcohol in them underneath that because they cost more. And normally it's the kiss of death to have two price levels. But if you're selling a scoop of vanilla for $3.25, you probably have to get closer to $3.75 or $4.
No,
for
I
this.
sell my ice cream in my store. Including tax, it's about $4.05 a scoop.
Okay.
I sell my ice cream, because it's much more work involved, than just putting everything together in the machine.
Yeah.
So, especially with the chocolate, I prepare the chocolate first before I use it. It involves a lot of more work.
How much mix did you put in once you get to a finished product?
I put in 3.5 quarts of mix in it to get actually 6 quarts out of it.
3.5.
Yeah.
I'll use it now. Help yourself.
No,
You want us-
no,
Oh.
because it takes me it takes a lot of work, But this is something you have to figure out for yourself. Which rum you want to use, the alcohol content in it in the rum depends how much you're going to use. Because the higher the alcohol content in your ice cream, it takes longer to make, but you don't get so much ice cream out of it. Let's say with my limoncello ice cream, the alcohol content is 151 proof. So if you put 3.25 quarts in, you don't get 6 quarts out. You only get 4 or 4.5 quarts out of it. Yeah, I do wine. Wine. I have a dessert wine ice cream, and the bottle of wine, because dessert wine is really expensive. If you want to have a good one, it's already $25 for the bottle of wine. And I use caramelized salted pecans with it. So actually, if I put this on the menu, I don't make a lot of profit on $4 a scoop. So, but this is something that you have to decide for yourself. You go for the normal stuff, or you want to do something special. That's the thing. You like it? Thank you.
Sammy, come here, girl.